Deemed, rehabilitated, and real entertaining. This is the Carl Jackson Podcast.
I hate these high-profile cases. I absolutely hate them. They are a threat to, in my opinion, jury pools everywhere. They are a threat to true justice. No one else is going to say this. No one else is going to talk about this. I'm not even sure if people think about this, what I'm getting ready to talk about, Tyre Nichols, in this perspective. There's a lot of outrage. There's a lot of talk already in the media about justice and receiving justice for Tyre Nichols. I'm totally sympathetic to Tyre Nichols. I don't know the entire story, but the likes of it looks pretty bad. A video is coming out, but these high profile cases are a threat to both you and to me. You guys have to understand, or actually, let me pose it this way. Innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. Do you believe that? Do you really believe that? Innocent until proven guilty. Do you mean that when you say it? Do you believe that when you say it? Let me remind you of other high-profile cases. George Floyd, Casey Anthony, O.J. Simpson, George Zimmerman. Did any of these defendants, regardless of how you feel about the case, and I feel about the cases, did they have a chance for a fair trial when these cases are played out in the mainstream media before these people go to court? Kyle Rittenhouse. Do they have an opportunity for a fair trial? Guys, even conservatives, we all like a bit of drama, but this is dangerous for our justice system, and I intend to prove it. All right, guys, welcome to this edition of the Carl Jackson Show podcast. This is your daily dose of objective truth in a world of confusion and lies. Please support us. Please follow us. Please like us. Go to youtube.com, subscribe to our page, The Carl Jackson Show, Rumble, the same place. Also, find us on social media, Twitter, Carl Jackson Show, Getter, Carl Jackson Show, actually, The Carl Jackson Show. If you put in The Carl Jackson Show, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, you name it, you will find us there. Also, follow us on Instagram, share our posts on Instagram. We're cutting up these videos for you. We're putting them out there. Please share us. Please share us and like us, follow us, do all that good stuff. All right. And also, please support our sponsors, MyPillow.com. Great sponsors. Mike Lindell, American Patriot. I know you guys are patriots. He's providing a good night's sleep. Great quality American-made products, whether it's slippers, whether it's towels, whether it's bed sheets, whether it's the MyPillows, which I don't use anything else. Go to MyPillow.com. Click on that radio listener square at the top of the page. Enter my name, Carl, C-A-R-L, or give them a call, 800-858-0263. They have a 6-piece towel set available right now for only $39.98. 2 bath towels, 2 hand cloths, or 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths are on sale for $39.98 when you use the promo code Carl. So please take advantage of that. And by the way, anything you find on the site, discounts up to 66% off when you use the promo code Carl. Also, don't forget our new sponsor, forpatriots.com. Guys, times are getting bad, and I think times are going to get worse. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to give you a dose of reality. Our economy is not doing great. Economists are saying, or many economists are saying on both sides of the aisle, if you will, that we're looking at a recession perhaps as soon as April or maybe as late as June, but they do expect a recession to occur. We've already endured a recession last year, or a Biden session. I think we're going to endure another one, but this time I think it's going to be worse. So please go to my friends, forpatriots.com, the number 4patriots.com. Just stock up on some survival food just to be safe. Even if it's not an issue of inflation or a recession, God forbid you live in an area where it's you have natural disasters like I do in Florida with hurricanes. It's always great to have some food set aside just in case. You can do that at forpatriots.com. All you have to do is use the promo code Carl, and then you'll get 10% off of your first purchase, and that includes a 3-month survival kit that's available. You'll get a year-long guarantee plus free shipping on orders that are over $97. It's not ordinary food. Lasts for up to 25 years. It's sturdy. It's water resistant. It's compact. It stacks easily. They have delicious meals from anything from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right. Ready in 20 minutes. All you have to do is add water add boiling water, simmer and serve, and you're good to go. So check them out, 4patriots.com, and they're called 4 Patriots because a portion of the sales are donated to charities that help out our veterans and their families. Go to 4patriots.com, use the promo code Carl for 10% off of your purchase. And again, you're going to be helping veterans and their families, as well as making sure your family is ready in the event of any type of disaster. All right, now, I want to get back to this subject when it comes to Tyre Nichols, and I want to make this emphatically clear, and I want to take a swig because I know I'm going to have to do a lot of talking here. But I want to make this emphatically clear. From all indications, and I have not seen the video, I don't want to see the video, and I don't want you to see the video, and you shouldn't want to see the video, and I'll explain why. I'll explain how these high-profile cases are absolutely destroying our judicial system, destroying it. And sadly, I think I speak from experience. I've been in, sadly, as a, this was before Christ, so BC. I've been in the criminal courts. I've been in the family courts. I've even been in personal injury courts. That never had to go to courts. It was some negotiation that took part. But nonetheless, I've dealt with all of these areas of the law and attorneys in all of these areas of the law. And I can tell you firsthand, these high profile cases absolutely destroy jury pools. That's why they destroy the judicial system. You are not going to find a fair jury in cases like this. It's impossible. Now, some of you might sit there and think, oh, good. No. It's not good if you're ever falsely accused of something. Or even if you are legitimately accused of something, it is not good. I'm sitting here taking notes for those of you that are watching on YouTube, because sometimes I get thoughts as I go, and I want to make sure that I don't lose them. So that's what I'm doing here. By the way, please subscribe to the podcast, The Carl Jackson Show. Wherever you get your podcasts, just find me, The Carl Jackson Show, YouTube, Rumble, everywhere, Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, and follow me on social media, The Carl Jackson Show. All right, so just imagine being part of a court case, and then your case is played out in the public before you ever go to trial. You're done. You're finished. You have no chance. And Tyre Nichols, again, may be the greatest guy ever. And by all indications, listen, he was a dad of a 4-year-old child, obviously loved by his mother and I believe his stepfather that are in this video that we're getting ready to show you. But apparently at some point he didn't comply with cops and he ran. As a result, they used force. The argument is it was totally overwhelming, unnecessary, and vicious. The video, which will come out because everyone is asking for it, will allegedly show that. But this is mob rule mentality. This is mob rule mentality. This is not how our justice system is supposed to work. And as much as I may want justice for Tyre, justice may mean if we have all of the evidence that the officers walk free, or justice may mean that if we have all of the evidence, everything within context, that the officers walk, that the officers, spend a lot of time in jail. I don't know the answer, and you don't know the answer, and then you're going to come out and you're going to see the video, but we're not going to have everything in its proper context. We're never going to know all of the ins and outs of the case like a jury potentially will. We're destroying our system. We really are. I hate these high profile cases. Again, I want to ask you, innocent until proven guilty. Do you mean that? Do you believe that? If you really mean that, if you really believe that, you will not want this video to be released. And now I'm getting ready to play some video of attorney Benjamin Crump, race hustler. I believe that Benjamin Crump, at one point in time, I believe he was a decent guy. I believe he was a good guy. And he may be a good guy to all of those people around him, but he's very black centric. We all know that. I had an opportunity to meet him one time, had an opportunity to listen to him speak. This was after the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman ordeal. And, he talked about, questioning some of the things in his mind that critics would say. And he's like, man, am I wrong here, man? He was genuinely questioning himself. But he started making so much money off of these cases, just showing up, just being that face for, hey, everything is racist and all this kind of stuff. He started making so much money. I think he just lost his soul. I really do. God's the honest truth. Maybe in quiet time he still struggles, but it doesn't seem like it to me. If Benjamin Crump, in my opinion, were authentically for the black community and not for his own pocketbook, I think he'd talk more about black on black crime, but he won't do that because the black community will call him an Uncle Tom and basically disown him. Would he talk about ending black abortion? Will he talk about that? No, he won't talk about that. Why? Because the black community will totally ignore him. Will he talk about traditional marriage and how the black family has been broken up? Will he talk about that at all? No, he won't talk about that. Why? Because people will stop calling him. When their son or their daughter dies, they'll stop calling him. He'll stop making money. He'll be called a sellout. He'll be disowned in his quote unquote community. So he's not going to talk about that stuff. We will see what they did to Tyree. That's what they were chanting in one court. And listen, I feel so bad because someone has lost their child. A mother has lost her son. And I don't know, because I don't know all of the evidence yet as of this podcast. Now, the video will be released this evening, but I don't know as of yet whether or not this guy put himself in a predicament where he was going to get beat down. Officers had no choice. And then as a result of I don't know. We're going to see. But from all indications, that wasn't the case. It sounds like the officers were too aggressive. We'll find out. Innocent until proven guilty. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? Let me just read a couple of amendments to you. Let me see if you really believe in our judicial system. The right of the people, Amendment 4, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. In my opinion, listen, all of these deal with the rights of the individual and the rule of law rather than the rule of man. So that was Amendment 4. I'm going to read Amendment 5, and I'm going to read Amendment 6 because I think Amendment 6 specifically pertains to what I'm speaking about today. But I think all of these are very important. Amendment 5. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases for a capital or otherwise infamous crime, unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Amendment number 6. I'm going to ask you, innocent until proven guilty. It's implied in Amendment 6. Do you believe that? Do you believe in a jury of your peers? Do you believe in innocent until proven guilty? If so, then I'm going to ask you to join my movement because nobody else talks about this. Stop being baited into these high profile cases. They are destroying jury pools all across this nation. It's like a CSI. Or NCIS. People watch these television shows and they think police officers can do whatever the hell is done on TV. It distorts our view of the law. It makes these police officers, they all have to be perfect. The science has to be perfect. It distorts our view of the law. And in this case, these high profile cases distorts our ability to be able to take in information and to remain neutral And I think that just destroys our justice system, because I think more people end up going to jail because people are so emotional over cases, as opposed to just focusing on evidence, and as opposed to just focusing on the rule of law, and as opposed to focusing on whether or not the prosecutor has proven their case. They just get emotional. Again, I ask you to be honest. I'll mention some names. George Floyd. How did you feel about that before the officers even went to trial? And why did you feel that way? Were you tainted by the news media, by the mainstream media, by reports, by columns and writers, so on, etc.? Casey Anthony. Casey Anthony was a very important case. Where are we at time-wise, Gabe? Well, Casey Anthony was a very important case. Casey Anthony, I remember, listen, my opinion is that Casey Anthony killed her daughter. Whether by accident or intentionally, I believe that Casey Anthony killed her daughter. But here's what I didn't believe. I didn't believe that Casey Anthony was guilty of murder. I didn't believe that she was guilty of the charges that she was tried for. I didn't believe it. And because I didn't believe it, I thought that she should walk free. And I said it at the time. Nobody was saying that, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was nervous to say it, but I was right to say it. Because most people don't understand how our system is supposed to work. And stories like this go on and do more damage to our system than they do to help our judicial system. Our system, you have to prove your cases. Whatever you charge that person with, you have to prove them. And so many people don't even have to prove their cases, because Benjamin Crump and people like that go out in the media and they build a case before they ever get into the courtroom. The defendant has no chance, because everyone has already heard Benjamin Crump. Everyone has already heard the political narrative. Everyone has already watched the local news. And so they go into the courtroom knowing they cannot walk out of that courtroom without giving the people outside of the courtroom the justice that they demand, not the justice that's outlined in our Constitution. You get it? It's not that I don't want justice for Tyre Nichol. It's that I want the right justice. And that's very important. O.J. Simpson, George Zimmerman, Kyle Rittenhouse. Again, all of these names, I guarantee you, all of us had preconceived notions based upon what we heard from the media before these defendants ever stepped inside of the courtroom. Regardless of how you feel, you may hate them. It doesn't matter. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the rule of law over the rule of man. Do not release that video. If you release the video, you've already mostly destroyed the jury pool. You release that video, there is no shot of these officers getting a fair trial. Well, Carl, they shouldn't get a fair trial. They beat this man to death. Still, yet, hold on. You don't know all of the circumstances behind it. They may deserve exactly what might be coming to them. They may deserve to spend the rest of their lives in jail. We don't know. We don't know. And God forbid that mentality is turned on you one day. I think maybe I'm a little more humble because I hate the thought of being in jail. All you have to do is spend one night in jail. You're going to hate it if you're not a criminal. If you don't intend to be a lifelong criminal, you are going to hate it. It's very scary. It's very dirty. It's very cold. No one is your friend. You trust no one in there. You don't give up. You don't share a lot of your business. Just be cool. But nobody likes being in there. Unless you're a criminal that just, it's crazy. And they talk about training. And we'll run one of these videos in just a sec. But they talk about training. A lot of these, maybe the officers need more training. Maybe the officers do need more training, but maybe more criminals need to be told. And I'm not saying Tyre Nichol is that. Again, by all indications, except for that day when he ran from the cops, he seems to be a good guy. I've heard nothing else contrary or read anything else contrary to that at this point. But maybe we need to start focusing on training Black people specifically not to run from cops, to just stay calm, to stay cool, to stay collected, and don't run from cops. Don't do it. Comply so that you don't die. Do you think black cops would have beaten down a black man if he just complied? Just be honest. Don't release this video. Don't release this video. It's amazing. Isn't it amazing too? You guys think about this. Isn't it amazing? I'm going to show you the video. I know I'll keep yapping. Isn't it amazing how there's still black outrage even though there's black cops? Black outrage even though there's black cops and a black victim. Still black outrage. Because we keep buying into this narrative. Cops are bad. Cops are out to hurt black people. So even when a black cop does it, there's black outrage. And we have to warn people not to protest. And why the hell do we have to warn people not to protest? Why should we have to? I'll tell you why. Because we've got weak cops that are bowing down to the left-wing mob. That's why. We got weak behind cops that are so scared of their woke mayors, so scared of woke society that they will not do their jobs. They will not police. Let's run this video. This is Benjamin Crump and also the family attorney that are in this video. I forget his name. Forgive me. A guy by the name of Antonio Romanucci, and also the mother of Tyre Nichol, Tyre Nichols. I'm sorry, Tyre Nichols. And again, I feel so bad for this mother because from all indications, this was a great son that screwed up one day and then got overly punished for it, allegedly. But I want you to hear this video, and I want you to ask yourselves this question. Can anyone get a fair trial after hearing this?
You know, regrettably, it reminded us of Rodney King video. Regrettably. And unlike Rodney King, Tyree didn't survive. And so we are here to demand justice for Tyree.
Let me say this about Tyree, about what we saw in that video. We're here not to talk about what a great boy he was and what a good son he was to his mother. But let me tell you what he was.
Stop the tape for just a second. I'm surprised they didn't tackle this fool for saying boy. But this is the family attorney, Antonio Romanucci. But again, I'm asking you this question. Can anyone get a fair trial after the media is putting out video like this and people are digesting video like this? Will these officers walk away with a free trial? I don't think so. Frankly, I think these officers should be allowed to sue the freaking pants off of Benjamin Crump and take all of his money. There's no way they'll get a fair trial with videos like this out there before they even step inside of a courtroom. A lot of people buy into these high profile cases. I hate them because they are destroying our justice system. I know I'm being redundant here, but I hope you will start believing this. This is destroying our justice system. One of the things destroying our justice system, making these cases so high profile before defendants step into a courtroom. I just say that because I'm scared one of you one day or myself will be charged with something. We may not even be guilty of it. But if society already believes we're guilty of it because they've heard our case played out in the media before we step into a courtroom, we're done. Let's roll the tape, Gabe.
In that video, he was defenseless the entire time. He was a human pinata for those police officers. It was an unadulterated, unabashed, nonstop beating of this young boy for 3 minutes.
Oh my God.
That is what we saw in that video. Ben told you what we saw. Not only was it violent, it was savage.
Oh my God.
Why? Where was the proportionality that is required in order for those officers to use that type of force against a defenseless young man?
I don't know if this...
Stop the tape for just a second. You heard his mother wailing in the background, as well she should. She just lost her son. I feel so bad for that mother. I can't underemphasize that. But again, I've got to ask you the question. If we're going to live in a society where there's a rule of law rather than a rule of man, should a jury pool be subjected to hearing this and seeing this before they step and before the defendants step inside of a courtroom? Let me read to you Amendment 6 right before we go on to Benjamin Crump here, Gabe. And I don't think we'll even play the other video for the sake of time. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed. This was in Memphis. I'm in Orlando, Florida. Everybody that hears about this is going to be tainted. Which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have a compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. That's Amendment 6. That's where it implies innocence until proven guilty. Let's roll the tape, please.
This makes Miss Robon feel any better, but the last words on the video, he's only about 80 to 100 yards from his house, and he calls for his mom 3 times. Mom. He's called for his mom, and so where's the humanity? Where's the humanity?
I hate the fact that us as black people, we're out here killing each other.
That's right.
For what?
Come on.
I don't know why.
Come on, Mom.
We have the police killing us.
That's right.
I don't know why. I just don't understand why we have to have all this violence and everybody have to kill each other. I mean, what happened to this world? Everybody want to kill each other. Nobody don't want to talk to each other anymore. What happened to the humanity and kindness?
That's right. Amen.
What happened to it all?
Amen.
I don't know.
I want to answer the mother's. Let's just stop the tape right there. I want to answer the mother's question. In large, the black community has abandoned God and continued to vote for a Marxist party called the Democrats. That's what happened. That's what happened. I'm sorry to say that to Tyre Nichol's mother, but cops aren't out killing black people. They kill more whites than they do blacks, but I don't expect her to know this. She's not into politics like I am. All she's doing is giving all she's doing is regurgitating the news and information that she gets presumably from CNN, MSNBC, maybe local news accounts and whatever social justice warriors or activists are around in Memphis. But cops, by and large, aren't out killing black people. And sadly, her son did not comply. From the pictures that I've seen, I'm not saying he deserved anything. I don't know the whole context of anything. Young man, skateboarder, worked for FedEx, appeared to be a good and decent guy, but that is all we know up until this point. But I will say this. Even if the video shows, and this is hard to say, because I think back to Rodney King and how I wanted to kill, just my feelings at the time, how I wanted to kill all of those police officers. Even if the video shows that Tyre Nichol got an unwarranted beatdown and that ultimately ended his life, this is our system. These officers still deserve a free trial. And videos like this, there was even one, I think, with a mayor. There's videos like this just ensure it won't happen. Let me just read you some quotes. This is the Memphis police chief. The Memphis police chief released a video statement condemning the brutal attack, calling it a failing of basic humanity. Now, I know the police chief, Sarah Lynn Davis, is this person's name. I believe that's a woman's name. But I'd sue the police chief if I were one of those. I would. Because you too have just ensured to cover your butt because you're scared of how people will react to the police. And listen, I understand it to some degree. But I just want to read you this quote, and we'll end it here. This incident was heinous, reckless, and inhumane. This is the Memphis police chief. And in the vein of transparency, when the video is released in the coming days, you will see this for yourselves. She said that, it is a she. She said that she hoped for peaceful protests ahead of the video's release, which is planned for 6 p.m. on Friday. Protest for what? What's up with all this perpetual protesting in the black community? Yet this stuff continues to happen. Such a waste of time. She says, I expect our citizens to exercise their First Amendment right to protest, to demand action and results. She expects it, huh? But we need to ensure our community is safe in the process. None of this is a calling card for inciting violence or destruction on our community or against our citizens. Why would you even say that? So here's what I would be saying if I was the Memphis police chief. This mother is mourning. There's going to be a trial that's going to ensue. We want fair and impartial jurors. We want justice to prevail, whatever justice looks like. And I'm going to tell you this. If you get out in these streets and you riot, you are going to get some rubber bullets popped on your behind, and you are going to get some tear gas up in your eyes and in your nose. How about that? But cops won't say that anymore. Why? Because they're scared of the Benjamin Crumps and the woke social justice warriors of the world. And the George Soroses of the world. Or maybe they've been hired essentially by George Soros. Man, this is dangerous, guys. I don't want to conflate Tyre Nichol because he sounds like a great individual, except for when he apparently tried to run from the cops. And again, I don't know the whole story, but we're going to find out the whole story because this video is going to be released. But I want you to think of this podcast, and I want you to share this podcast. I was going to share some other news today. I'm not even going to do that. This is so important. This goes to our rule of law. Just like the J6 protesters, those political prisoners, in my opinion, oh my God, check out my Twitter, The Carl Jackson Show. I've been retweeting some of Julie Kelly stuff, but make sure you share this podcast, right? Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and Rumble. Please, YouTube, all right? If you, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please share, please like, please watch. Like, subscribe, rate, review, all of that stuff helps us to move up the charts, helps us to get our names out. Follow us on social media, Carl Jackson Show. But this is a very important podcast, in my opinion, because it goes towards the rule of law. This is very important. Guys, I won't hold you any longer. I appreciate you tuning in to the Carl Jackson Show podcast. Again, you know where to subscribe, the Carl Jackson Show, wherever your podcasts are found. Follow me on social media, all right? Instagram, Twitter. We really want to build up Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, The Carl Jackson Show, Get Her True Social, wherever you are, you can find me there. Don't forget about our sponsors, mypillow.com. Use the promo code Carl, CARL, 800-858-0263 is the number to call. Use the promo code Carl. You get deals up to 66% off. Take advantage of their towel deal right now, $39.98 for a 6-piece set. You get hand towels, bath towels, 2 washcloths, only $39.98. The best towels ever. I'm not lying to you, all right? 800-858-0263 or mypillow.com, promo code Carl. And don't forget, for Patriots, every bit of or every sale that is made, they give some to charities that help out veterans and their families. And not only that, I think you'll put your family in a better position by going to 4Patriots, the number 4Patriots.com, stocking up on some survival food that lasts for 25 years, easily stackable. They're water resistant. And again, I said stackable. They're compact. So this is good for you, good for storage. Breakfast meals, lunch meals, dinner meals, ready in less than 20 minutes. All you do is add boiling water, simmer, and serve. Right now, go to 4patriots.com. Use the promo code CURL to get 10% off of your first offer, or first purchase, rather. And this includes a 3-month survival kit. And you'll get a year-long guarantee plus shipping on orders that are over $97. The number 4patriots.com. Guys, until next time, do not grow weary doing good. Please, for the sake of justice, for the sake of true justice, for the sake of the rule of law, share this podcast. Just so you're aware, these are the charges that the officers have been charged with. Second-degree murder when it comes to Tyre Nichols, 2 counts of official misconduct, 1 count of official oppression, aggravated assault act in concert, and 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping. How the hell you get 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping and oppression? These prosecutors, sometimes to get a name for themselves, they will just throw the book at you and create stuff that is on the books or in the law in order to make sure that they can win, that they could win a trial. But I got to be frank with you guys. I think this, again, sets another dangerous, I would say precedent, but it's not a precedent. I guess this is the way our jury pool is going. Judge the people before they even get into the courtroom, to completely destroy the jury pool so that there is no real justice in America anymore. I think this is one of the most important podcasts that people might hear today or this week. All right, guys, till next time. God bless you.